Hey Tubies, it's Psychic Bob, also known as Lord Ision. Well, here I am today walking in the lush green woodland. Isn't this just beautiful? I'm out today just attuning to the beautiful nature, seeking out the green man and the fae people. We're going to talk about the fae today. You know, as I walk along, I'm hearing the river flow here through the trees. We're right beside the creek. And it's quiet. It's quiet today. I think a storm is coming. It has that subtle feeling of rain is coming. A little coolness underneath the warmth. But you know, when you get out and walk, you attune to the life force. Now, what's the saying that I always say? Green equals life. And as we look at the lush greenery, we can feel the life force in it. Do you remember a few months ago when it was so bare? And I said, in just a few months, the trees will be filled and this will be a lush green paradise. And look, here we are. You know, it's in the quiet places, the natural settings, that one connects not only to one's spiritual self, but to the spirits of the land, the fae people. Who are the fae? They're the fairies. You'll say, Psychic Bob, are fairies real? Yes, they are. I've seen them myself. I have great belief in the fae people. But if you want to find the fae people, you have to seek them out. Many times they're called the hidden people. And so you have to go into the wild places and feel the energy to get to know them. Where might one find the fae? Well, they might be living in a tree. There are tree spirits called dryads who inhabit the consciousness, the spirits that inhabit the trees. Sometimes gnomes or pixies will be found living at the base of a tree. Now, if you look at this giant oak here, you'll see the beautiful green moss here. This can be a sign of the fae's presence, for remember, green equals life. So this would be a good place just to sit down, to meditate. You know, if you get out and walk, you'll find places like this, of lush green moss hidden on the back sides of trees. And that's a great place to mix to meet the fae. Now, in your process to seek out the fae, don't forget to become friends with the very trees, because they have their own spirits as well. The trees are wonderful. They provide hosts. They provide homes to animals, to fae, to dryads. So trees are our friends. They give us oxygen for life. If all the trees left the planet and died, we would have no oxygen and life on Earth would cease to exist. So as I'm walking along, I see this beautiful giant oak tree. And I think to myself, thank you. Thank you, oak, for your friendship. It's good to pause and just come up and acknowledge the trees. Maybe give a blessing. Blessed tree, oak friend, we thank you for your gift of life. Thank you for your nourishment and your support. So mote it be. So mote it be. And you know I've been known to be a tree hugger. May I give you a hug, Mr. Tree? I got a yes. Thank you for your friendship. Thank you. You see how special the trees are? Thank you. Blessed be. Don't take them for granted. They are literally life itself. And here we are by the sacred New Ganges River. Now that it's warm, we'll come back here and we can do a blessing and an offering to the river mother, to the Ganges. A few months ago, I consecrated this back in the spring to the great goddess. And been meaning to come back, but the weather hasn't permitted it. You can see now that our path down through here is overgrown. This is the path down to the river. But we'll get down there. Maybe next week we can come back here, weather permitting, and do that. So for now, we'll just pause and say, Hail, Mother Ganges. Let us receive the blessing. You see, the great Mother Goddess goes wherever she's called, and I did a ritual and called her to this river. So being here is a sacred place. Since I can't travel to the sacred Ganges in India, I brought the Ganges to us. We'll come back here for sure. The rich, deep, dark forests, as you see before us here, this is where you find the presence of the green man, where you find the fae people, the elves and gnomes, sprites, fairies. It's where you find the Lady of the Greenwood, one of the fairy queens. There's magic in the woods, but you only know it if you get out and explore it. And look, here we are at this wonderful tree. Do you remember we visited this before? This is the tree that I think is a home to the fae. With this lush green moss, we can again affirm that green equals life. And so we want to take a moment and pause here and study the land and the tree, powerful tree, majestic sky behind it, lush greenery. Yes, green truly equals life. I think it's pretty beautiful. Now, some of you have said, Lord Ision, I can't get out and walk like you can. It's hard for me to envision the fae. How do I come to know the fae? Well, one of the ways to know the fae is through art. There are many visionaries who have had dreams and glimpses of the fae and have done beautiful paintings. One of my favorite is the artist Amy Brown. So, in just a little while, I'm going to show you some of her artworks to help you to begin to understand the fae and what they may look like or appear to you as. So hang with us. But here we are up at Fox Chase Shopping Center. PsychicBob has a taste for Chinese food today, so I thought I'd come up here, get some lunch, and when we get home, we'll look at the mystical art of the fae. But here we are outside of Pier 1, and unfortunately it's still an empty space. It's one of my favorite stores, and I'm really sad that it's gone. Let's take a look inside, see if anything's being built in here. Maybe a new store will come. Nope, it's still the same, empty as all. Maybe PsychicBob should inquire. I might get a good deal now, because not a lot of people are opening stores, especially with all the violence. It would be an amazing temple space, wouldn't it? Boy, this would be a mega temple. It'd be like the Vatican for the Wicca. Anyways. Well, we gotta get some Chinese food, so come on along. Oh my gosh. Look, it's open now. Welcome back, we're open, and I see people inside. Wow. Well, I want Chinese, but we'll definitely come back here. Here we are. Hong Kong Express. And you know PsychicBob's crazy about this store. So let's go get some good Chinese food. Well, I got my food and we're just waiting. Look at that beautiful mural. That's Hong Kong. That's where the communists took over. Oops, I'm not allowed to say anything negative about communists. There's our good food. Oh, I love it. Well, while we're waiting for the food, we're going to go and do some shopping. I got to go to Walgreens. By the way, right here next to the Chinese place, this is an empty shop. Used to be a hair salon. This also has a potential for a temple. It's a little smaller, but it could still be a temple. Somebody's got to think about that. Oh my gosh, got to put on my mask. It's the law in Virginia. Whatever. And I'm always thankful when I get to go to Walgreens because I always have a good experience here. Unlike CVS where there's always some sort of drama. All right, I got my stuff from Walgreens. Now it's time to pick up our Chinese food and go home. So come on along. And here we are outside Hong Kong Express. One of my favorite Chinese places. Hopefully our food's ready. I got my lunch tubies. Look, ooh, my General Tso chicken. Ooh, and they put my chopsticks in. Chopsticks are a sign of good luck. So we're having a good day. Well, tubies, Psychic Bob made it home, had my lunch, and now I'm ready to get back to talking about the Fae. As I said earlier, you know, some of you have trouble envisioning the Fae, and if you do, a wonderful way to begin that process of opening to them is to maybe put some pictures or statues of them around. I have some lovely pictures here by the artist Amy Brown, one of my favorite visionary artists. So let's take a look at some of my art collection from Amy Brown. By the way, my Louis Vuitton bag wanted to say hello to you. Louis is here. He hasn't been out with me in a while, and I took him out on a walk today, and he's in a good mood. So he says hello to all of you. You like being here today, Louis, with everybody? Yes, Bob. All right, so I'm going to show you some of my Amy Brown artwork prints. You can buy Amy Brown prints at her site. I think it's amybrown.com or Fairy, Amy Brown Fairy. I'll have to find the website, but also check on eBay or Amazon. They sell her prints there as well. And I'll tell you, if you find a print of hers that you like, you should buy it because usually they're hard to get and they sell out quickly, and they're limited edition, many of them. This is one of my favorite ones. I showed this to some of you the other week. Got a little glare here, but let's see if I can minimize it. This is one of a fairy. It's a female fairy. Do you see her sitting here on a ledge? She's got a giant dragon coming up. Here's a big dragon head and the wings. Hopefully you can see some of that. But this is one of my favorite ones, and it's got stars in the background. There's the dragon face. Beautiful dragon. Look at those wings and the detail. And the fairy wings are just so lovely. Look at that. Beautiful, beautiful work here. Angel or the fairy sitting on a ledge. Very angelic like. You know, isn't that beautiful? So this is one of my favorite Amy Brown prints. I don't remember the name of this one. Anyways, I have to find the names, but I just buy what I like. This is another one of Amy Brown's prints. Now this one is a very treasure one because this has actually been signed. I have to frame all of these, but this one, it says signed by artist. And down here you can see in the ground the red signature. It's Amy Brown's signature right there. So this was an original signed by her lithograph. And I think it's beautiful because here's this fairy. You can see her wings. She's sitting at like a stone gargoyle monument. You know, isn't that cool? Maybe it's part of the Fae religion, one of their gods or something, but it's kind of mystical looking. And you can see how beautiful she is. Isn't that lovely? So yay, and that one is again signed. I got an original signature signed piece, so that's a valuable piece of my collection. Here's another one which I love because this shows, you know, different sizes of the Fae. Now, as I've told you guys before, if you haven't been here, the fairies come in different sizes. Some are full human size. This one is a woman, and you can see this is actually her ear. It looks like a feather, but it's actually her pointed ear. And she's wearing feathers hooked onto her hair. And she has, noticed she's got the crescent moon, which is a pagan sign, on her brow. And here she is sitting under a tree. It looks like an autumn tree. Isn't she beautiful? And she's leaning on some rocks. Notice her tribal sort of tattoos or jewelry armbands. And in her armband has triskells, which is a pagan symbol. And what's interesting is she's here interacting with another fairy. Now the fairy she's interacting with is a small fairy. Maybe it's an elemental fairy or a pixie fairy. But this illustrates the truth that fairies come in all different sizes, from diminutive fairies to full-size human-size fairies. So there you go. There's another picture for you. So that was my first set. Here's a second set of prints to show you. These are some of my other fairy prints from Amy Brown. All of my fairy prints, well, not all of them, most of them are Amy Brown, but today these are Amy Brown ones that I'm showing you. Now, for those of you who say, well, are there such things as male fae? You know, absolutely. The fae, like the humans, have male and female. This is, I think this was a limited edition print. This is called Jack in the Green. And it's a male fairy, a young boy fairy. You can see his pointed ears and his green wings. And he's wearing green clothing. And he's sitting on top of a sprig of green leaves, like, you know, holly leaves or something here. But isn't that cool? That's a male fae. So yes, there are male fairies. And here's probably one of my favorite fairies. I love all my prints. This is one of my favorite ones. This is another male fairy print, and I love this because look how majestic he is. He's got a big sickle. There's an owl riding on his shoulder, and you'll notice how he has horns. He's representing like the horned lord here, I think. And see the crescent, it's like the crescent moon, a staff. He's got some tribal tattoos on his arms. But look at this. This is such a dramatic thing. Look at his face. Isn't that amazing? So this Amy Brown work is pretty amazing stuff. And again, I wish I don't think the names were on these. Let me see. No, they don't. I don't have the names. I need to find the names because these are all well-known prints. But I'm bad with the names, so I just bought them because I was so excited. I forgot to write down the names of what I was buying. But that's another cool one. And then one of my other favorite ones is this one here, which is, she's like a priestess or a goddess type figure. Again, she's also carrying the crescent moon staff. Because you know the fae are very attuned to the sun and the moon. The fae follow the old faith, the pagan faith. And it's believed that many of the old British and Irish and Celtic witches, some of them descend from the fae, and so some of the pagan faiths come from the fae, or elements of it. Back here's a moon rising, a full moon, and again we have another owl in this picture. You see the moon back here? Do you see that? And this is beautiful. Look at her hair blowing in the wind. She's wearing antlers. Again, another honoring of the horned lord. You see? And look at her capes and her robes blowing. Is this beautiful or what? I just really think that Amy Brown's art is pretty amazing. And here are some more Amy Brown prints. I've been collecting them for years. This one is lovely. This looks like they're looking at the red moon or rising. Could be a sun, but I'm thinking more it's the moon. But you've got two fae here. They might be friends or sisters. But this one here, she's like a moon worshiper. Sorry for the glare, guys. These are in plastic sleeves, and they've been in quite a while. They're a little warped, the plastic. I gotta have them framed, but look at this. Isn't this just beautiful detail? Look at the rich textures. Amy Brown just weaves in, like there's the trees. She does all the gnarled bark and the leaves, and that moon is just glowing with that energy that is vibrant. And so it's like the fae worshiping the moon. Or it could be the sun. I don't know. It just feels like a moon to me, a red moon. The blood moon. I gotta call this one the blood moon. Maybe it is. And then there's this other girl down here. Look at her beautiful silvery gray. She has a little bit of hint of purple in her hair. Their pointed ears, her fae ears. She also has beautiful wings that come off of her. You know, if you get some prints of fairies, you know, you don't have to buy Amy Brown ones. They're a little pricey. But, you know, if you find a picture that you like of the fae, you know, you might want to get it and study it. Now, look, it's like they're doing offerings down here. Again, the fae are believed to practice the ancient ways, so they do magic. So this might be a little offering of each of the sisters to the Moon Mother, you know? Because it looks like she's in reverent awe of the rising moon, and they have candles down here offered. So maybe it's each of them offered a candle, you know? But this is a wonderful way to kind of begin to visualize the fae. And if you've been saying, I'm having trouble seeing the fae, get a picture and just study and contemplate it, because many of the artists who paint the fae also believe in the fae, and so they really capture, I believe it's a channeled image of something they know or have experienced deep within. Is that beautiful? And then here's another one. This is one of my other favorite ones by Amy Brown. This is a beautiful fairy. Look at her wings. And she's sitting on a mushroom. Is that great? Look at that. Now she's one of the smaller fae. But this beautiful blue and purple background, I think is very dramatic. Look at her beautiful purple hair that she's got, and her pointed ears coming up through the hair. So again, another mystical fae. Well guys, I am so glad that you came along today for our adventure. It was fun to walk in the woodland and contemplate the fae and pick up lunch. And I've enjoyed sharing my Amy Brown prints with you. I hope you've enjoyed this as well. Listen, tell me in the comment box below, have you done any work with the fairies or the fae? Or do you own any Amy Brown artwork? I would love to hear about it. Or maybe you yourself paint the fae. Have you ever painted a fae? Anyways, let's have a discussion. Comment in the box below. Also, for those of you who haven't been here the last few days, we are now taking registrations for my psychic development class. We still have some spots left. We're limiting the class to 100 people, and we're already over half full. So definitely, if you want to register, go to my website, PsychicBob.com. That link will be below. And when you scroll down, you'll see a header that says Psychic Development Class. And further down, you'll see a PayPal button. So go ahead and click on that, register for the class, and we will see you. We're going to have the class starting on Saturday, July the 11th at 12 p.m. Eastern U.S. time. So if you want to get in and join, we're going to study. Our first class is going to be on clairvoyance, how to open the third eye, how to see spirits. $30 for the session, and I hope you'll come out and join us. You guys rock. I love you. We'll see you back here tomorrow. Now go register for the class, and we'll see you then. Blessed be. Oh, also want to remind you, be back here tomorrow for Vlog Thursday. I don't know where we're going, but we'll have an adventure, and I'd love for you to come along. So we'll go out and see what's going on in the world. Join us then. You guys rock. I love you. Oh, also, if you want to get on my schedule for a private reading, give me a call. Private psychic reading. It's a full hour, you and me one-on-one, and we'll cover your whole soul journey. My phone number is, call me at my office, 703-825-3929. Links below. Visit my website for readings, for scheduling classes, all of that. We'll see you over there. Blessed be. Be back here tomorrow for Vlog Thursday.